Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a story that's part tech disruption, part creative crisis, and it's given us a new word you absolutely need to know, the Slopocalypse. So here's the deal. A new company is using AI to churn out thousands of podcasts for, and I mean this literally, $1 an episode. So the big question is this a brilliant new business model, or is it the beginning of the end for quality human-made content? Let's get into it. All right, first things first. To really wrap your head around what's going on, you have to understand the sheer scale of this operation. It's honestly kind of mind-boggling. Okay, so there's a company called Inception Point AI. Right now, they are producing over 5,000 different podcast shows. 5,000. And if you think that's wild, get this. Every single week, they are releasing more than 3,000 brand new episodes across all those shows. But here is the number that changes absolutely everything. They claim that the cost to produce each and every one of those episodes is just $1. And look, don't think for a second this is just some little garage startup. It's run by Janine Wright, who used to be the COO of Wondery, a podcasting giant. They're using this whole web of AIs to do everything, even creating entire AI personalities, like a gardening expert named Nigel. And because the cost is so ridiculously low, an episode only needs about 20 listeners to actually start making money. So, as you can probably guess, when news of this whole thing broke, the reaction from creators and, well, pretty much everyone, it wasn't exactly subtle. It was fast and it was furious. This tweet right here from Augustin LeBron just perfectly captured how so many people were feeling. And just like that, it gave a name to this whole phenomenon, the AI Slopocalypse. This fear of being just completely drowned in a sea of low-quality AI-generated stuff. And that feeling was everywhere. For a lot of people, like David Ryan here, the reaction wasn't just critical, it was visceral. You know, a deep, fundamental rejection of the entire idea. And you can imagine, for people who actually work in the audio industry, the feeling was even worse. It felt like a direct attack on their skills, their craft, their passion. The idea that all their work could just be replicated for a buck was, as Georgia Kahn puts it, just depressing. Okay, so it's really important here to separate what the real problems are from all the hype. The genuine issue isn't really that AI podcasts are going to outcompete human ones. We listen to podcasts for human connection, for unique points of view. The real problem is that flooding the world with thousands of new shows makes it even harder to find the good stuff, and it gives way more power to the algorithms to decide what you get to see and hear. But is it all bad news? Let's play devil's advocate for a second and explore the potential upside, because the company behind this definitely thinks there is one. So their whole pitch, their core argument, is that this model lets them serve incredibly specific niche audiences. We're talking about creating a show for an interest group so small that no traditional media company would ever find it profitable to make content for them. And this quote really brings it home. Think about it. What's your most out there, super specific interest? You know, maybe you're one of the only people on Earth who loves historical fiction that combines Sherlock Holmes with the cosmic horror of H.P. Lovecraft. Well, with this model, a podcast made just for you could actually exist. So why is this happening now? And why does it feel so inevitable? Well, to really understand the strategy here, we need to talk about something called the Doctor Strange theory. You remember that scene in the Marvel movie, right? Where he looks into millions of possible futures? Well, that's the core idea. It's not about using AI to do one thing perfectly. It's about using cheap, basically unlimited AI to do one thing millions of different ways all at once, so you can test every single possibility to find the one that actually works. And that's exactly what Inception Point AI is doing. They're not trying to guess what the next big hit podcast is going to be. No, they're just deploying thousands of them at once and letting the market, even a tiny little market, tell them which ones have an audience. They are running a massive, real-world experiment to find those little pockets of profit. This kind of brute force experiment, it's absolutely inevitable. We're going to see it everywhere, from YouTube to TikTok. But, and this is a big but, just because something is inevitable doesn't mean it's guaranteed to succeed. So will this specific plan actually work? You can see their strategy pretty clearly when you look at it this way. Most of us, we want to live in that top right box, right? Great content about stuff we're already into. Inception Point is making a huge bet on the top left box. Content on a topic you are so deeply passionate about, you're willing to listen even if the quality is just good enough. simply because it's the only thing out there for you. But here's a thought. Maybe they have the right idea, but they're using the wrong packaging. The ultimate winner in all this niche content might not be a company that mass produces thousands of shows. It might be a platform that lets you generate a custom-made podcast on your hyper-specific interest with just a couple of clicks. So, at the end of the day, who is the real winner in a slopocalypse? It's the platforms. When there's an infinite ocean of content, all the power shifts to the discovery algorithms on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. They become the essential gatekeepers. They're the ones who decide what rises to the top and what sinks without a trace. Their power in this new world becomes absolute. Which really leaves all of us with this final, crucial question. In a future that is flooded with AI-generated media, the most valuable thing isn't going to be the content itself. It's going to be curation. The ability to find the signal in all that noise is going to be everything. The only question is, who or what are you going to trust to do that for you?